Welcome to the Strange Encounters YouTube channel, your portal to the unexplained and the extraordinary. I'm thrilled to invite you on a mind-bending journey into the unknown, where we dive deep into allegedly true personal stories of encounters with aliens and UFOs. Prepare to be captivated as ordinary people share their extraordinary experiences, shedding light on the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. From spine-chilling close encounters to awe-inspiring sightings, we'll leave no stone unturned in our quest to uncover the truth. But we're not just here to entertain. We're here to build a community of truth seekers and open-minded individuals who dare to explore the realms of the strange. We encourage you to join the conversation by liking and subscribing to our channel so you never miss a thrilling tale. And we want to hear from you. Have you experienced something inexplicable? Do you have your own strange encounters to share? We'd love to feature your stories on our channel. Send them to verystrangeencounters@gmail.com, and who knows, your story might be the next one to send shivers down our spines. Remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. So, buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and get ready for an incredible journey into the world of strange encounters. Known Experiences Since 1992 by Vagan Bogan. This is Strange Encounters here. The author of this next story asked that if it's possible, can I ask people to come forward publicly or anonymously if download directly from these beings? Thank you. Now, on with the story. My first known experience was in 1992. I was 20 years old, living in Surrey Hills, Melbourne, Australia. One night, I just laid down. My mattress was on the floor. Footsteps scurried around me. I couldn't move, couldn't see anything. It was dark, as I was living in the garage then. Something like a tip of a pen jammed into the side of my head, and streams of electricity pulsated from the point of contact. I blanked out. The next day, I noticed my bedside light was blown. I felt normal but confused at what happened. I was also in a death metal band where we would jam in my room, garage, where I had many experiences. I actually have a video clip of us jamming in 1993. I was the lead singer. From there, almost 2 to 3 times a week. I wasn't working at the time, so I would even go to bed sometime in the morning and it would still happen. I would be in bed for not for long, and someone would grab me anywhere. It felt like hands, with a paralyzing electricity effect. It wouldn't last long. I never blanked out either. It was never as intense as my first known experience. After it finished, I was still fully awake. All the time, I couldn't see anything, even if the lights were on. It would grab my leg, arm, and even felt like 2 hands on the side of my head, with this electric pulsating effect. One night, I woke up and a typical gray, which was glowing white, was leaning over me telepathically saying, "Don't be afraid, we are not going to harm you." It was an euphoric, odd experience. I couldn't believe it. That's the thing at the video rental store from the video communion. I love sci-fi, but I thought the movie was a typical UFO documentary with that big alien head on the cover. I wasn't interested in documentaries. After I rented it, it spun me out, as some scenes were almost identical to what I experienced. It's based on a true story. Hey, it also had Christopher Walken. The typical encounters continued, no one. A year later, 1993, my mother, who is a psychologist, approached me and asked if anything strange was happening to me. I let it out. I told her I was encountering aliens, even though I never left the room. She told me my younger sister perceived she was being attacked by ghosts, and my mother had similar experiences when she was a child. At that time, she had the perception of levitation. So you know what her diagnosis was? Okay, now, am I crazy? Could seeing the communion cover trigger something in my brain? I was still having regular experiences. Soon after, I was driving 2 band members home at night and dropped off one while myself and the guitarist were actually passing close by Westall, of all places. A tall, skinny alien walked across the road. It was very, very tall and very, very thin. I stared in silence while driving past, then turned to the guitarist. "Did you see that?" He then said yes. I tried to explain what was happening to me, but it was like he forgot the incident or wasn't interested. Strange I couldn't talk to him about it. I contacted him a few years ago, told him about it. He couldn't remember seeing a giant skinny alien going for a walk. I tried really hard to replicate what I saw. I would need a giant convincing alien puppet with some puppeteers in black in the background. The area is semi-bush and not much road lighting. The alien walked weird and was lanky, like it was going for a stroll. It didn't look at me, just straight ahead. A few months ago, in April 2022, I hadn't looked much into aliens until I was randomly watching a Whitley Strieber interview. Then the topic of implants were discussed. I jokingly put my hand to my left ear to assist. I said to myself, "My implant." Whitley then raised his hand to the exact same spot. I nearly fell off the couch. I decided to look into the alien subject further. My mother recently visited with an auntie. My mother reminded me something I had forgotten since the late 90s was my dad's mother's ex-husband's sister was taken into a UFO and aliens fixed her heart. I then vaguely remember talking to her about it around 1998. I can't remember her saying they fixed her heart. All I can remember was she experienced aliens and she thinks they like me. I think I dismissed her account and I thought she was being too airy-fairy. Now I know she has had a visitation due to my weird vision of her in 2003. This next one's strange. At 2013, at my dad's funeral, I saw my dad's mother's ex-husband's sister in a wheelchair with her daughters. She was very well spoken, giving her condolences. I haven't seen or heard from her since the 90s. My mother later informs me it's impossible for her to talk to me. She can't speak as she has had a stroke. A portal opened in the sky and potential abduction by Anonymous. To set the story up, I was about 14 at the time. I had been hiking with my mom along the Pacific Crest Trail for about 3 weeks out of our 6-week journey. So this was probably around Central Oregon. Before coming along this small town that's known for Bigfoot and UFO sightings, my mom told me about the supernatural activity. I've always been skeptical, but even then, I'm open to new ideas. I personally had some experiences I can't really explain. I was excited at the idea of something happening, but I didn't invest too much into it. As the sun sets, we decide to make camp on the side of this mountain, and we can look across the valley and see another mountain on the other side. There seem to be lights and fires all across the mountain across from us, so I'm guessing it was a popular area. As I tried to lie down and get some rest, I kept hearing this beeping in my ears, almost like Morse code. I can't remember if I heard it in one ear more than the other, but I remember that it kept me from being able to sleep. My mom ended up hopping on the phone with her boyfriend since we were close enough to town to have service. Another added noise. So I decided to look at the night sky and enjoy the scenery. With the sunset, a little light still visible, but most of the sky relatively dark, I'm hit with a visual I still can't explain. The sky, the night sky, literally splits open. Light floods through, and this oval-shaped craft with a purple ring of light around it is spit out. The craft hovers there for a moment, the portal behind it sealing itself shut. As it closes, I can see this thin line of light before it's fully sealed closed. All of this is going on. I'm yelling at my mom, "Mom, look, get out of the tent." I mean, I was seriously upset she didn't care enough about a UFO to get off the phone with her boyfriend. But I couldn't bring myself to physically yank her out of the tent. I needed to have my eyes glued to the sky. If I blinked for too long, I literally might have missed it. The craft hovers in the sky for a moment and then quickly shoots over the mountainside towards the sun. And that's it. I've never stopped stargazing. I've never stopped hoping I would see something again, but I haven't. I might not ever. Potential abduction. I wonder if it was aliens. Since that experience, I've had about 3 dreams and visions about alien technology, about starseed stuff, and I swear I even woke up briefly during a routine exam and came face to face with this alien dude before he knocked me back out. The alien guy had 2 arms, a torso, but he was, well, fat. Straight up, didn't have a neck, just fat and rolls. I remember him being purple or bluish in color with these 2 small beady eyes. I didn't see any ears or features that stuck out, not even a nose. He kind of gave me an irritated, "What are you doing awake?" kind of look. I surprisingly wasn't scared. I was just really curious and excited. Like I said, I've wanted to see aliens since forever. It totally could have been a dream, but I distinctly remember waking from my dream, coming face to face with that dude, and then going back into the dream. And something about the themes of the dream made it feel more like the aliens were giving me something to dream about. It was odd. Anyways, take this all with a grain of salt. I'm just a random person on the internet. Triangle in Eastern Ontario by Canadian Redneck. I witnessed a triangular craft in September 1993 with a friend of mine in Eastern Ontario, Canada. It was hovering about 40 feet off the ground, black with 3 whitish-blue lights on the bottom of the craft at each point. The skin of the craft was unlike anything I've ever seen before or since, but I have been reading accounts similar to mine only in the last few months. The craft had skin similar to that of an orca whale. It looked alive in the strangest sense of the word. It didn't look like black gunmetal, but soft-looking, glossy skin. Having just looked at my watch a few moments before we saw the craft, the surroundings turned much darker all of a sudden, and it was halfway to dusk. We seemingly lost somewhere between 40 to 45 minutes and moved, instantly transported, nearly a kilometer from where we had just been. When the craft departed, it shot off at a speed that I can only compare to that of the Mount of the Temple Jerusalem videos. It also left a black tear in the sky, like it ripped the actual sky and slid behind it. The next thing we saw when getting back to our bicycles, we had to walk back up the road nearly a kilometer. We had never gotten off of them, was a large barn owl who was on one of the bike seats who looked at us seemingly right in the eyes before lifting off and flying away. I had lived in that small town my entire life and had never seen an owl there until that day. Being a few days shy of turning 13, I had never heard of missing time or even that UFOs were sometimes reported as triangles. It wasn't until I couldn't shake the missing 40 minutes did I begin looking into what that could have been. I discovered a book in the card catalog at the library, pre-Google, by regression hypnotist Bud Hopkins, titled Missing Time. Wow, that was an eye-opener for sure. I kind of forgot about the owl for a long time until I searched owls and UFOs for fun years later, and once more learned of stuff I didn't think could be possible. My UFO Story by J.O. I came across your channel on YouTube and had a story that happened to me back in March of 2022. I currently live in North Las Vegas, Nevada, on the west side of what's called the Nellis Main Exchange. I live off the main road, which is Nellis Boulevard. It was just after 9 p.m. March 1st, a Monday. I had stepped out to go pick up takeout, which is just down the street. I was traveling north up Nellis Boulevard to head back to my apartment complex. From where I live, you can literally look across the street and see the base and the mountains. As I approached the road that leads into my complex, I stopped and waited for traffic to pass so I could turn left. I just happened to look out over the skies above the base to my right and noticed 4 shiny white ball-shaped objects. 3 of them had formed a large triangle. I'd say the size of 2 football fields. It was massive. The 4th object lingered near the peak point of what was this triangle shape, just off to the left of it. At this point, I pulled into the parking lot of a mini-mart, which sits at the end of the road leading out of my complex, so I could observe without holding up traffic. I tried to take video of the objects on my phone. The lighting on it was poor. I noticed once I got out of the car that these objects made no noise. Living next to an Air Force, I know how much noise those planes make. Even before they take off, the noise from the engines will rattle my windows from time to time. These objects made no noise whatsoever. There were no other planes in the area this particular night either. As I continued watching, the triangular formation that these objects made started to break. They weren't moving very fast either, but they moved like they were weightless in the sky. The 2 objects that made up the base of this triangle all of a sudden blinked out, the same with the 4th object, which I mentioned earlier was just to the left of the peak of the triangle. They literally were there one moment and not the next. The only object left was the one that made up the peak point of the triangle, which started to move in a northeast direction like it was headed toward Utah. I'd say after about what felt like a minute had gone by, the other objects all of a sudden blinked back on, and they were a lot closer to the object that was heading in the northeast direction. When they blinked back on, the formation they were moving in resembled a trapezoid, but with only a right angle. It's like I stated before, there was no noise to these objects. They were white lights, I'd say orb-shaped, very bright lights. I watched with the other object, then one of the objects, the one that had been like a 4th wheel in the group, blinked off again and then blinked back on. I would say I stayed and watched for about 5 minutes before I remembered that I had hot food in my car, which was going to get cold. My car was still running with the door open. The objects just kind of flew off into the distance, and as they did so, they kind of clustered together. I couldn't tell you how fast they were going because they didn't seem to be moving all that fast at all. Even when they were changing formations, it was slow, like they were weightless. When they changed formation, it was instantaneous. When the objects blinked out, I could make them out in the dark sky like you normally would be able to make out a plane or a helicopter. They were there one moment, gone the next. That's all there is to tell of my story. I wish I had a better camera so I could have taken videos and pics to attach with this email for you. Ever since that incident though, every time I go out at night, I'm always keeping a watchful eye out over the base. I thank you for providing me with a place where I could tell my story. I reported the incident to NUFORC. I haven't received any response from them whatsoever. Oh well. Thanks again, love your vids, keep up the great content, and look forward to hearing from you, possibly even seeing this story go up on one of your videos in the future. I Knew an Extraterrestrial by Sweet Little Frat. A lot of people were drawn to a post of mine on another subreddit about this extraterrestrial I knew named Zach. I figured I'd share on here for everyone. I firmly believe that I knew an extraterrestrial and that he changed my life for the better. Back when I was a teenager, I remember I worked really hard at trying to tap into my clairvoyant side. I know there's a lot of non-believers out there, but I've always been a very spiritual person and believed in the existence of a metaphysical world around us. I bought and read several books published by clairvoyants who made the effort to share what they knew about their abilities from other people. I believe everyone is capable of becoming clairvoyant in some form. It's all a matter of practice and time. Anyway, in my mind's eye, I came to see and know this being named Zach. He was huge, this massive giant that was like 10 times the size of a street post. He looked like a giant man and wore this black bodysuit type thing that had an interesting texture, almost like snakeskin. And according to him, it had been engineered by his kind to accommodate different types of environments. Long story short, over the years, Zach and I became close. I would talk to him every day, and through encouragement and discipline, he managed to help me get myself together. I remember that I ate healthier, was better at controlling my emotions, and ultimately had a major life shift that involved massive growth and self-awareness. He gave me so much love and emotional safety. I really believe that I wouldn't be who I am today without his influence. But it was a really interesting experience. To use the word he isn't even fully right because his kind doesn't really have sex the way us humans do. They kind of have been studying humans apparently, and have taken a lot of inspiration from them. They leave us alone for the most part because they use us as an example from what I know. He looked as humanish as he did, for example, because it appealed to a lot to them aesthetically. No joke, it was as superficial as that. He told me a lot about the way things were, where he was from. He told me that the Orion constellation was a pinpoint guide to where his kind reside. I probably sound crazy typing all this out, but it's the truth. I have so much more I could tell you guys, but I'll leave it there for now. Welcome to Famous Encounters, a captivating segment of the Strange Encounters show where we delve into some of the most renowned cases of alien abduction and UFO sightings. In this gripping series, we peel back the layers of mystery surrounding these extraordinary events, examining the accounts of those who found themselves thrust into the spotlight of the unknown. From the enigmatic tales of Roswell to the perplexing abductions of Betty and Barney Hill, we'll revisit the moments that shaped the world's perception of extraterrestrial encounters. Prepare to be spellbound as we explore the evidence, theories, and enduring questions that continue to surround these legendary incidents. So, fasten your seatbelts and brace yourself for a riveting exploration of the most well-known cases in the history of alien encounters. As we get ready to embark on a voyage through the extraordinary, we invite you to join us on this compelling journey. In this episode, we take a look at the Travis Walton Abduction of 1975. The Travis Walton Abduction case is one of the most captivating and controversial accounts of alleged alien encounters. Taking place in 1975, the incident unfolded in the forest of Arizona, leaving an indelible mark on both Walton's life and the realm of ufology. In this segment, we will delve into the details of the Travis Walton abduction case, examining the events, witnesses, and subsequent investigations. On November 5th, 1975, Travis Walton, a young logger from Snowflake, Arizona, was working with a logging crew in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. As the day neared its end, the crew members claimed to have witnessed a luminous object hovering above the treetops. Walton, driven by curiosity, approached the unidentified flying object, resulting in a life-altering encounter. Travis Walton's experience was not witnessed in isolation. Alongside him were 6 other individuals who would later become pivotal in corroborating his account. These witnesses included Mike Rogers, the crew's boss, and his crewmates John Goulet, Ken Peterson, Steve Pierce, Alan Dallas, and Dwayne Smith. Each of these individuals played a vital role in shedding light on the incident. According to the testimonies of the logging crew, as Walton approached the hovering craft, he was struck by a beam of light emitted by the UFO. Fearing for their safety, the crew fled the scene, leaving Walton behind. A desperate search ensued, but Walton was nowhere to be found. The crew reported the incident to the authorities, which triggered an intensive search operation that lasted for several days. 5 days after the initial incident, Travis Walton reappeared, disoriented and traumatized, in a nearby town. He recounted a story of being taken aboard the extraterrestrial craft, where he encountered beings he described as humanoid in appearance. Walton claimed to have little memory of the events during his abduction and believed he had been subjected to medical examinations by the alien entities. In the aftermath of the Travis Walton abduction, the case gained widespread attention, attracting both believers and skeptics. The National Enquirer offered to fund a polygraph test for the logging crew members, and all 7 agreed to undergo the examination. While Walton's test initially indicated deception, the remaining crew members' polygraph results were deemed truthful. Walton subsequently took several additional polygraph tests, all of which concluded he was telling the truth about his experience. As with many controversial cases, the Travis Walton abduction has faced its fair share of skepticism. Some critics argue that the incident could have been an elaborate hoax or misinterpretation of natural phenomena. Others propose that Walton may have experienced a psychological episode, resulting in a vivid hallucination. However, supporters of Walton's account maintain the integrity of the witness and the polygraph results. The Travis Walton abduction case has left an enduring impact on popular culture, inspiring books, documentaries, and the 1993 film Fire in the Sky, which dramatized Walton's experience. The case remains a topic of fascination among UFO enthusiasts, serving as a benchmark for abduction narratives and igniting debates regarding the existence of extraterrestrial life. The Travis Walton abduction case stands as a remarkable and controversial chapter in the history of UFO encounters. With the testimony of multiple witnesses, polygraph tests, and subsequent investigations, the incident continues to captivate and divide audiences. Whether one chooses to believe or remain skeptical, the story of Travis Walton serves as a constant reminder of the enigmatic nature of the unexplained. It challenges our understanding of the unknown and compels us to explore the depths of human experience and the possibility of extraterrestrial encounters. While the Travis Walton abduction case has its share of skeptics, the presence of multiple witnesses, including fellow crew members who passed polygraph tests, lends credibility to Walton's account. The incident has withstood decades of scrutiny, remaining a prominent case in the field of ufology. Regardless of the controversy surrounding the case, it is undeniable that the Travis Walton abduction has had a lasting impact on those involved. Travis Walton himself has dedicated his life to sharing his story and has become an influential figure in the UFO community. The case has also sparked debates, investigations, and further research into the nature of alien encounters and the existence of extraterrestrial life. The Travis Walton abduction case serves as a testament to the complex and mysterious nature of our universe. It reminds us there is still much we do not know, and that our understanding of reality may be far more intricate than we can comprehend. As we continue to explore the realms of science and the mysteries of the cosmos, the Travis Walton abduction remains a compelling and enigmatic chapter in the ongoing quest to unravel the truth about the existence of extraterrestrial beings. And that concludes another mind-blowing episode of Strange Encounters. We hope you enjoyed this extraordinary dive into the realm of the unexplained. If you're hungry for more astonishing stories and want to support the channel, there are several ways you can help us continue to bring you the best content. In the description below this video, you'll find links to our Patreon, buymeacoffee.com, and PayPal Donate. Every contribution, no matter how big or small, goes a long way in fueling our exploration of the strange. Your support enables us to improve our recording equipment and enhance the production value of our videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel and stay up to date with the latest strange encounters. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you never miss a spine-tingling story. We want to express our heartfelt gratitude to our incredible community of truth seekers who make Strange Encounters possible. Your engagement, comments, and sharing of our videos help us grow and reach a wider audience of fellow explorers. If you have your own strange encounter to share or know someone who does, please send them to verystrangeencounters@gmail.com. We'd be honored to feature your stories and continue expanding our ever-growing tapestry of the unexplained. Thank you again for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies, your mind open, and remember, the truth is waiting to be discovered.